It just shows how a theme song can either make a wrestler's character or completely set it on fire.
Pretty
Speaking
much.
of setting things on fire, Finger Eleven's Slow Chemical
One of my all-time favorite themes from Kane. Pretty much, it's in my top 10 of favorite wrestling themes ever. Because Finger 11's Slow Chemical? Bruh. Hey, yo, what's happening, peoples? It's your boy Blaze here. Back to you with another one here for Venomous Reactions. And today we got an intriguing video here. And this is the most loved versus the most hated WWE theme songs. And I gotta be honest, you know, a wrestling theme song, it sets the tone for the wrestler itself. Like, if the theme is fire, oh, people's gonna rock with it. And it further emphasizes the character. And if the theme is trash, oh, be prepared not to be there for a long time. I'm just saying. And I'm guilty of having a few wrestling theme songs on my workout playlist. Raise your hand if you're guilty of that as well. So we're gonna get into this list here. It should be a good old trip down memory lane. So without further ado, let's run it.
For every banger WWE theme song, there's at least one stinker that makes your ear bleed.
Facts.
Kicking off our list with one of wrestling's most awkward musical experiments, the Jerry Show theme perfectly captures what happens when you try to force two distinct personalities into one song.
Yeah, that one was
WWE's
awful.
solution for Chris Jericho and Big Show's tag team was apparently to throw both their themes into a blender and hope for the best. The result sounds like someone rapidly switching radio stations during a car crash. You get fragments of Jericho's Break the Walls Down
Damn.
awkwardly spliced with Big Show sounding like he's having a stroke. It's the musical equivalent of wearing a tuxedo jacket with cargo shorts. Thankfully, WWE re-recorded this theme and replaced it with a better version.
Not gonna lie, man. When they revamped that theme, oh, it was absolute fire. But when they tried to, like, mash it up and mash it together, no. No. Because that one was horrible. It goes back to the commentary of, you know, it blended Chris Jericho's theme and Big Show sounding like he's about to have a stroke. Damn. That's cold-blooded, but it's the truth.
Speaking of tag teams with bad theme songs, you can't overlook the monstrosity Def Rebel created for DIY. Back in NXT, DIY's Chrome Hearts theme had a rebellious punk rock feel that made the team stand out. But once Gargano and Ciampa arrived on the main roster, Def Rebel did what they do best and absolutely nuked their entrance theme. The song tries so hard to be edgy that it forgets to be memorable and ends up sounding like Austin Theory's face theme. Seriously, you can't unhear it once you hear it. But moving on from these stinkers, let's switch gears to a theme that actually elevated the character. Rey Mysterio's Booyaka is a masterclass in matching music to character. The Latin-influenced beat and rap perfectly captures Mysterio's high-flying lucha libre style while maintaining an aggressive edge that reminds you this masked man is here to fight. It's catchy.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. POD, they did their thing on Rey Mysterio's theme, man. And it really did give off that edge. And it catered to Rey Mysterio's heritage and the wrestling character. So I gotta say, it goes back to what I said. Like, a wrestling theme can make or break a wrestler. Like, Rey Mysterio's theme, kick-ass theme. And I'm glad Def Rebel did not get their hands on Rey Mysterio and try to revamp his theme, because it would have sounded awful.
It's fun, and it perfectly separates Mysterio from everyone else on the roster. Just like Father Ray, son Dominic also has a catchy and menacing theme that fits his personality. It's a rare Def Rebel W that doesn't feel generic and actually stands out.
Yeah, that's true.
Moving on from the Mysterios, let's talk about a theme song that had fans divided. When Austin turned heel and got a remixed version of his theme, Many fans hated it while some loved it. Austin's original glass-shattering theme was pure adrenaline. However, his heel theme felt sluggish, slow, and stripped away everything that made Stone Cold special. Maybe that's what WWE wanted to do with this heel theme, but it ended up replacing Austin's ass-kicking energy with the musical equivalent of a midlife crisis. Personally, I prefer Austin's original theme much more than the Disturbed version, but let me know what you think in the comments.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. Austin's theme, both the original and Disturbed, like, I rock with both of them. I rock with both of them heavy. And it wasn't until like late into 2001 when they tried to remake his theme. I'm on the fence about that one. But Disturbed, it was a kick-ass theme for his return back to the ring back in 2000. And of course, you can't go wrong with the original. You can't go wrong with it. But yeah, his 2001 themes, yeah, I can't say the same about that one.
Up next, let's talk about one of the most iconic WWE theme songs of all time. A song that perfectly captured the character and had crowds singing. A song that made you feel like a playboy in the 90s. I'm talking about Sexy Boy for none other than Shawn Michaels.
Of course!
While other wrestlers tried to be tough guys or monsters, Shawn Michaels decided to be a narcissistic pretty boy, and this theme sells that character perfectly. The song's 80s arena rock vibe matches Michaels' flamboyant persona, it's cheesy in all the right ways, and it proves that sometimes the best wrestling themes are the ones that fully embrace their ridiculousness. However, before Sexy Boy became legendary, HBK was saddled with a theme song that belonged in a hotel lobby rather than a wrestling ring. This early theme sounds like it was specifically designed for people waiting for elevators rather than pro wrestling's Heartbreak Kid. Imagine trying to establish yourself as the face of the company while walking to music that sounds like it belongs at a medieval buffet. It just shows how a theme song can either make a wrestler's character or completely set it on fire. Speaking of setting things on fire, Finger Eleven's Slow Chemical
one of my all-time favorite themes from Kane. Pretty much, it's in my top 10 of favorite wrestling themes ever. Because Finger 11's Slow Chemical? Bruh. You can't tell me once that song hits, it gets you in the mood to go ham at the gym. Because trust me, it does for me. Woo! And the lyrics, the lyrics, it just further added to the mystique of the song as well as Kane's character. I'm telling you.
Proved that updating a classic theme doesn't always end in disaster. Taking Jim Johnston's original Kane melody and adding lyrics and modern production, this version maintained the Big Red Machine's ominous atmosphere while giving it a modern edge.
Get every bone in his body broken.
This menacing theme song went on to become nightmare fuel for kids all across America. And every time you heard those haunting guitar riffs, you knew someone was about to get their ass kicked. Before Cult of Personality became synonymous with the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk entered to Killswitch Engage's This Fire Burns. And honestly, it might have been the better choice. This might be a controversial opinion, but personally, I feel the metalcore anthem perfectly captured Punk's straight-edge intensity and anti-establishment attitude, with lyrics that matched his character. The song served as the soundtrack for Punk's historic heel run on SmackDown as world champion and the leader of the Straight Edge Society, which eventually led to the Summer of Punk and established him as a main event talent. Switching gears from these bangers, let's talk about a theme that makes auto-tune weep. Brie Bella's solo theme sounds like it was created by someone who heard about pop music once in a fever dream.
Lord.
The song's relentless repetition of Brie modes over generic beats creates an...
Yeah, this did nothing for Brie Bella. And I gotta be honest, every time I hear that song, I just want to take a BB gun to both my eardrums and go deaf. Because this song is ass. I'm sorry, not sorry. But you could have done better. You could have done better. It's like, Bremo, more like Bree, no. Get the hell out of here.
experience that's roughly equivalent to being trapped in a malfunctioning alarm clock factory. Moving on from one of the worst female theme songs in WWE history, let's talk about one of the most beloved. Becky Lynch's Celtic Invasion,
of course,
served as the iconic entrance theme as Lynch began her rise to the top of the WWE as the Man. Whether it was talking smack against Ronda Rousey or snapping Charlotte Flair's arm, Becky's theme perfectly captured her rebellious attitude and became one of the most loved entrance themes of this era. But there can't be light without darkness, and X Factor's theme represents one of WWE's darkest music choices. The song has absolutely nothing to do with Just Incredible, X-Pac, or Albert, and made their entrances feel like they accidentally wandered into someone else's music video. I got everything I ever wanted. It's like using Eye of the Tiger as entrance music for a wedding. The song is so bipolar that you don't know whether you're supposed to be intimidated or excited or throw away your
I didn't
TV.
get that one
Someone
either.
in the music department apparently heard Uncle Kracker's Follow Me and slapped it onto 3 random wrestlers.
All facts, man. No offense to Uncle Cracker, man, but I really didn't get the song and X Factor using it as their entrance theme. I really didn't get that at all. But hey, we got what we got. What can we do about it now? But you could have done a better choice for that one. I'm sorry.
Thankfully, we're back to themes that actually understand their assignment with Randy Orton's voices. This song is the perfect example of how a theme song should complement a wrestler. The music, the lyrics, the building intensity, it captures the pure psychological menace. Though Burning My Light was a banger, Voices remains the undisputed anthem for the Viper's calculated madness.
All facts.
It gets you hyped, it makes you uncomfortable, and it gets the crowd singing. Speaking of
no lost soul there, man. Voices by Rev Theory. It just screams Randy Orton to the core. And ironically, even Randy Orton said in himself, Burning My Light, he low-key hated that thing. He low-key hated it. But he had to suffer through it for a few more years until they found the right one and they struck gold with Voices. I'm telling you.
Sami Zayn's generic Def Rebel creation sounds like it was assembled by a 5-year-old who just learned to use the computer. When Sami turned heel in 2022, Def Rebel decided to water down his upbeat theme music and replace it with the most generic heel music you'll ever find. It has no personality, no uniqueness, no vocals, and nothing that separates it from any other generic Def Rebel song. However, for a theme song to be memorable, it's not necessary for it to have vocals. Kurt Angle's theme proves that sometimes less is more.
Pretty much.
While the orchestral arrangement perfectly captures Angle's Olympic hero persona, it's the crowd's innovative "You Suck" chants that transformed this from a standard heroic theme into something truly special. However, adding vocals can take an already red-hot entrance theme and transform it into one of the most recognizable pieces of music in history. Batista's Animal theme during the Ruthless Aggression era was already intense enough to raise your testosterone. But WWE decided to go a step further and add vocals to this banger. Saliva's Walk Alone captures everything that made Batista compelling during his prime. The song's heavy...
Man, no lie, man. Batista's theme was fire enough. But once Saliva got their hands on it, it became a banger off the rip. Like, I Walk Alone, easily also one of my top 10 most epic entrance themes for a wrestler. Man, Saliva, you can never go wrong with them because they did the same thing with the Dudley's theme music, and that song kicked ass.
Methodical rhythm mirrors Batista's devastating in-ring style, while the lyrics perfectly capture his mentality. From perfect musical storytelling to one of wrestling's most tragic cover songs, Ric Flair's WWF theme remake is what happens when you try to improve perfection with a Casio keyboard. The original WCW theme song for Flair was majestic, regal, and larger than life. However, this WWF version sounds like it was performed by a high school marching band having a particularly off day. It stripped away all the grandeur that made Flair's entrance feel like royalty. But the Nature Boy wasn't the only one Flair who suffered from bad theme remixes. His daughter Charlotte faced the same tragedy when Def Rebel decided to completely nuke her iconic theme music.
Bow down, bow down, bow down. All hail the queen.
The song tries to capture her genetically superior gimmick, but ends up sounding more like a bad cover. While her father's OG music made you feel like you were in the presence of wrestling royalty, Charlotte's Def Rebel theme sounds like elevator music with delusions of grandeur. This monstrosity by Def Rebel proves that sometimes the apple falls very far from the tree and...
Man, I said it once and I'll say it again. Like, Def Rebel, they just need to go away. They just need to go away because when it comes to them remaking like classic entrance music for WWE superstars, 80%, not even 80%, 85% of the time, it's a flop. And you could debate that with me if you want to, but it's the truth. It's only a rare occasions that Def Rebel gets a dub when it comes to theme music. And Charlotte Flair was not one of them.
Lands in a completely different musical genre. However, to Def Rebel's credit, they did manage to produce an absolute banger for Io Sky. Io's theme perfectly balances her Japanese heritage with modern wrestling edge. The train station sound elements at the start, coupled with the energy of the music, makes Tokyo Shock one of the rare Def Rebel bangers that elevate a superstar. Motorhead's collaboration with the game
Time to play the game.
created the perfect marriage of heavy metal and sports entertainment. Lemmy's gravelly vocals became synonymous with some of the most iconic wrestling moments, while the crushing guitar work made every Triple H entrance feel like a main event. The song's metaphors perfectly matched Triple H's cerebral assassin character and transcended wrestling to make its way into pop culture. In another rare victory for Def Rebel, Jimmy Uso's solo theme actually manages to distinguish his personality from his brother Jay while maintaining the energy needed for a wrestling entrance. What works here is the theme's confidence. It doesn't apologize for being different or try to sound like every other Bloodline song. When it comes to Samoans, Def Rebel decides to lock in and produce some bangers. Unfortunately for Baron Corbin, he wasn't a Samoan, and hence, he got stuck with one of the most generic theme songs.
Oh, Lord.
In history.
I ain't gonna lie, that song
theme
was
song
ass.
Jim Johnston made for Corbin to one of the most annoying theme songs.
Woo! That Lone Wolf theme from Barry Corbin, man, that one was iconic. But then when they decided to switch his theme up, it just went downhill. And the more people tried to remake his theme or create a new theme for Barry Corbin, it went further and further downhill. But the Lone Wolf theme, Into the Darkness, classic, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Songs in history has to be a crime. The theme did nothing to amplify Corbin's character.
Nothing.
It killed any ounce of aura he had left and was one of the biggest reasons behind his flop run later in his career before being released. However, Corbin was just one of the many casualties of Def Rebel's horrible music productions.
Oh, Lord. There's more.
Bailey's face turn, after splitting from Damage Control, deserved better than this auto-tuned abomination. Sounds like it escaped from a rejected Disney Channel movie soundtrack. It follows the same horrible Def Rebel formula. Catchphrase at the start, a couple of funky beats, and then random YouTube royalty-free music that feels forced and awkward. What makes this particularly tragic is that Bailey's character work during this period was genuinely compelling, but this theme song did nothing to signal the new character change or amplify her persona.
It really didn't.
But up next, let's talk about a theme song that not only amplified a character, but became the soundtrack for one of the most iconic entrances in wrestling history. Few themes in wrestling history command the immediate respect and atmosphere of The Undertaker's Funeral March.
Yes.
Jim Johnston's iconic adaptation for The Dead Man creates an entrance that transcends wrestling entertainment and enters mainstream territory. The song's deliberate pacing forces audiences to wait and builds anticipation, while establishing The Undertaker as something otherworldly. What makes this theme legendary isn't just its spooky effectiveness, it's how the music itself became a character, with those opening gongs triggering loud reactions from crowds for almost 3 decades. But enough of glazing the old era, let's talk about a banger theme from this current era of WWE. Cody's Kingdom represents everything right about wrestling themes. It tells a story.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
It fits the character perfectly and gives crowds something to sing along with. The song's vibe captures Cody's journey from wrestling royalty to main event star, while Downstate's powerful vocals make every entrance feel like a coronation. However, not every multi-generational wrestler gets to have a banger theme. Tamina's first WWE theme song is perhaps wrestling's laziest musical effort. Repeating someone's name over generic beats isn't music composition, it's just lazy production. For a performer who was supposed to be intimidating, this theme did the complete opposite and made her feel like a cartoon character instead of a genuine threat. But even Tamina's entrance theme feels like a masterpiece when you listen to this next monstrosity on this list that came right out of Vince McMahon's head. An entrance theme so lazy. A musical piece so horrible that it would make fans go to sleep. Bastion Booger's theme was the perfect mix of cringe and laziness that makes even Def Rebel look good. The snores, the random hammer sounds, simply has to be the worst theme song in WWE history, bar none. But moving on from entrance themes that'd put you to sleep, let's talk about a theme that'd get the crowd singing. Alter Bridge's Metalingus transformed Edge from tag team specialist to legit main event star. The song's explosive opening immediately grabbed attention, while its vocals and chorus gave crowds something to rally behind during Edge's face runs. What makes this theme special is its versatility. It worked equally well for heel Edge's arrogant entrances and babyface Edge's triumphant returns. Personally, this happens to be my favorite WWE theme song of all time. And if you're wondering why WWE music sucks now, watch this video next to find out.
Yo, he ain't lying though. But man, this was a good trip down memory lane, man. It made us relive like some of the most iconic themes ever, and even the worst themes ever. And I try to suppress those out my brain. But he ain't lied about Edge's theme though. Metalingus by Alter Bridge, iconic and badass. And it worked whether he was a heel or face. And when you got a theme that works for you, whether you're heel or face, you got something special there, man. And you just pray that they do not mess with your theme music. Pretty much the theme music that made you iconic and stand out. You pray for that. But some people suffer through that unfortunate tragedy. And it sucks. But we get what we get, and there's nothing you can do about it except voice either your pleasure or displeasure. And some of these themes on this list, whew, man, it just gets you pumped. It just gets you pumped, and you feel the energy pumping through your veins every time you hear a certain sound before it goes into the theme music and the guitar riffs. Woo! Tre magnifico. But I want to know what your thoughts are about this list. Yo, did they hit home on this or what? Yo, you already know what to do, man. Let the comment section have it. And as always, thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this one. And don't forget to tell your peoples across the globe. Come kick it with your boy, just working solid time. And please do follow your boy on social media right over yonder. And this is your boy Blaze saying Chuck the Deuce, and I will see y'all in the next video. And I am